All right, these are the solutions for what hopefully felt like a very simple assignment, page 67, just to make sure you got it right. For this first one, we want to know the limit of x to the fourth as x approaches 2. Just put 2 in. There's no reason to be concerned about any of that. If you do that, 2 to the fourth power should have given you 16. So that's going to be our first step in all these limits, is to plug that number in and see if we get something. If we do that here, put the 1 in, you're going to get negative 2 over 5, and that's your limit. Do that here, we're going to get 35 over square root of 9, so we'll get 35 thirds. Okay. Again, these are purposely easy, just that's always should be your first step whenever you're doing it. Just plug it in and see what you get. All right. Same thing here. They told us f of x is 5 minus x, and they want to know what's the limit as x approaches 1. So put 1 in. 5 minus 1 is 4. All right. They tell us here to use g now, put 4 in, so we're going to do 4 to the third power, which is 64. Okay. Then they want to know what is the limit of g of f of x. And so again, we're going to throw 1 in, we're going to do it as a composition. So this is going to be g of f of 1. We already found f of 1, that was 4. And we already found g of 4, that was 64. So we just process that one exactly, kind of like a composition. Throw it in. What does this look like? What does that give us here? Okay. This one no different. We're putting 2 in. We're doing the cosine of 2 pi over 3, which is the cosine of 120. So if I draw that out, all right, my reference angle is 60. So square root of 3, 1, 2. This is negative. That's positive. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so negative 1/2. Okay. So again, that's why we did that work back in chapter P. It's not, the problem is making us do the cosine, but in terms of something else, right? That's always how it's going to be. Same thing here. If I work this out, I get secant of 0. So that's the same as 1 over the cosine of 0. So if I think about 0, okay, I go 1 space over 1, 0. The cosine is the first coordinate. Or if I think about my cosine graph, cosine of 0 is 1. Either way, the cosine of 0 is 1. So if I go 1 over cosine of 0, it's 1 over 1, which is 1. Okay. Then the last one doesn't give us a function. They just tell us what the limit as you approach some value c is, and then wants to know if you can kind of walk through. And it's exactly what you would expect. If the limit of g is 3, then if you multiply by 5, if you multiply the function g by 5, then you're going to multiply the limit by 5. So this should give us 15. If the limit of f is 2 and the limit of g is 3, and you add these together, then you add the limits together. 2 plus 3 would be 5. All right. If you multiply them, then you multiply the limits, you should have had 6. And if you divide them, then you divide the limits, you should have 2/3. Okay. Wish all the assignments were just that simple, right? But that's all you had to do for these problems here.